Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, Dave, love the show. Just was thinking about Chase DeLauter. Do you know if he played for any other organization, he'd be in the majors right now? Only Cleveland keeps their best players down because they want them for longer control and prefer losing. I think that they don't have a rhythm because every other day is a different lineup. There's no consistency, and you can't win. You can't get in a groove if there's no consistency. Giving a guy one or two at-bats in a weekend series isn't going to get no consistency with the team. So like I said, they need to figure out what they're doing because they've got some gems in the farm club that deserve to be given a shot. And if they were on any other team, DeLauter would be in the majors right now getting his shot. Just want to hear your thoughts. Go Guardians.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Let's welcome in Ryan Mitchell. He is the voice of the Columbus Clippers where DeLauter is playing. Ryan, you and I have talked about it, and Chase DeLauter, he's a prospect, but he's got to stay healthy, and he hasn't seen even enough AAA pitching. I asked you your read of him, and go ahead and say what you told me.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that is a very good baseball player, but this is also a guy that has played, when you look at the total numbers, 131 professional games. Now, a lot of that's out of his control with the injuries that have happened and things of that nature. But still, whether or not there are injuries, if he had played all those seasons, maybe we're having a different discussion. But he's had those injuries, and so you're looking at a guy with 477 career professional at-bats who has done well in that time. There's no doubt about that. The numbers look very good. Not hitting for necessarily a ton of power this year for the Clippers, but the hits are there, and he's hitting left-handed pitching really, really well. In fact, his splits, against lefties, he has been fantastic. We haven't seen a ton of left-handed pitching, but against righties, batting in that 250 range. So what does that tell you? I'm not entirely sure what it lays as a lockdown, but it tells you that there may be some work to do for this guy because, oh, by the way, most guys, except for the elite of the elite, take, 400 minor league games to get ready for the major leagues. I was talking to somebody else earlier today, and it's important for fans to remember, not just for Chase DeLauter, but for every minor leaguer coming up through the system. The jump between AAA and the majors is the biggest jump there's ever been, and it's bigger now than it has ever been in its history. And so you not only have to play consistently at the AAA level to get yourself ready, you really kind of want to dominate and take some momentum to the major leagues. But for DeLauter, listen, he has dominated when he has been healthy. Now he's got to build that up, and Chris Antonetti had the press conference the other day, and it's not smoke. It's not, this guy has to build up a volume of games before he is ready to play at the major league level, where he is facing major league pitching from a starter and then nastier relievers from innings 6 through 9 every single day. That's not something you walk in and do. Hitting is really, really hard.
So you mentioned the splits, and here is a look at them. We did build this out. So against left-handed pitching, this is in the minors this year. He's hitting .438. He's got a homer, 7 RBIs, 7 strikeouts. Against righties, 225, 5 homers, 12 RBIs, 15 strikes. So it's kind of a reverse split kind of thing. And Ryan, just so folks understand, the big jump is in the minors, guys are still searching for control, for secondary pitches. There are more mistakes, meaning there's a ball that the pitcher went, man, I didn't want that there, and hitters are hitting them. You don't see that as much at the big leagues. So the average is going to go down naturally from AAA to the big leagues.
It's a really tough thing, and there's a flip side to that coin too, right? Pitchers that come up from the AA level to the AAA level, first off, they're using a different baseball. I don't know how many fans out there are aware, but and now it's only 2 different baseballs. Several years back, there was basically a different baseball for every layer of the minor leagues. Now there is a minor league ball and there's a major league ball, and AAA uses the major league ball. So a guy that comes from AA to AAA, the seams are flatter. It's much more difficult to control and command the baseball. So guys that come up from AA find, I'm throwing a cue ball right now, and I got to make it dance to avoid the bat of these players. Well, it's the flip side of that is when you get to the major leagues, those guys have been through all these trials. They know how to manipulate the Major League Baseball. They know how to live on the periphery of the strike zone consistently and find the holes in your swing. Everybody's got one, right? Everybody, Peak Barry Bonds had a small hole in his swing. Barry didn't hit 1,000. at his peak. And Ted Williams didn't hit 1,000 at his peak. There are holes, and when you get to the major leagues, they're going to find them quick, and they're going to live there because major league pitching can, at a much higher rate, live in that small area of a zone, in or out of the zone. If they know you're going to chase something down and in, guess where they're going to throw it? Down and in until you prove you're not going to do that. So yeah, that is a big, big thing for. And listen, Chase is facing pitchers now at the AAA level, which are better than at the AA and single A level. They're more consistent hitting those spots, but not as consistent as they are in the major leagues. So yeah, you're right. It's a thing that everybody has to kind of figure out. You have to learn your own holes in your swing, right? And you
Yep.
have to do the things that are going to minimize that, mitigate that, or oh, by the way, just lay off those pitches till a guy maybe has to come into your hot zone, and that's when you can do damage. That approach is also one of kind of the later things that come because when you're in the lower levels of the minor leagues, you're playing college ball or playing high school ball, guys just make a lot more mistakes to your point. And then you can let your talent come through and damage those mistakes. You get fewer of those as you go up the ladder, and you want to be able to minimize the holes in your swing or understand your swing well enough to avoid certain zones. And that takes time. That's where it takes games and plate appearances against high level competition.